Welcome to the first episode of the College of Education Spotlight series. In this series, we will feature students, faculty, staff, and alumni who are doing great work. My name is Jasmine Harris, and I'm a graduate assistant in the Office of the Dean for the College of Education.
And I'm Sheila Rubin. I'm the business officer for the College of Education in the Dean's Office. Today, we have with us Dr. Mark Wasisco, Shannon Wilson, and Miranda Cox, all our students at Northern Kentucky University. So welcome and thank you for joining us for this interview.
Glad to be here.
Okay, Jasmine's going to start us off with our first question.
Dr. Wasisco has been a professor in the college for 15 years. Shannon and Miranda are students in Dr. Wasisco's Mindful Helping Professional class. Could you introduce yourself and share your areas of study at NKU?
Yeah, so I'm Shannon Wilson, and I took Dr. Wasisco's class last summer. I'm getting my master's in social work here. I will graduate in May from the 2-year traditional program.
And I'm Miranda Cox, and I'm a bachelor's of social work student, and I'm going to be graduating in May also. And I'm currently enrolled in the Mindful Helping Professional class.
Thank you. So the topic of today's spotlight is your Mindful Helping Project, which was awarded a coronavirus opportunity grant to the NKU Institute for Health Innovation. Dr. Wasisco, could you tell us briefly about this project and what mindfulness is for those who may not be familiar with it?
Sure, I'd be happy to. It's obvious to us all that these are difficult times, made even more so by the fact that we're having significant isolation and the way we do everything has changed. We interact with people differently now. Frequently, we consider people as suspects of carrying a virus. We learn differently now. It's pretty much online versus getting to see people face to face and high touch. We work differently. Many people work from home or they work in protected environments, and we even play differently. It's hard to have team sports and things like that. All of these massive changes have a profound impact on our mental health and on our physical health. We decided that people need a salve. They need a safe place. They need some tools to cope with all the stresses that they have in their lives, to not only improve their lives for themselves, but for those around them. And so we put out a call to present and past students that took the Mindful Helping Professional class. People who are involved are volunteers. They said that I would like to be involved, and we're creating a very, very cool, I think, workshop that will have about 7 to 10 everyday mindfulness practices that people can use for free and practice every day and hopefully improve their mental and physical health. And the definition of mindfulness, I think there are 3 parts to my definition. The first one is it's being aware without judgment of where we are internally. How do we feel? Are we stressed? Are we irritated, fearful, joyful, content, peaceful? It's the second part is how present are we in our environment? And can we be there without judgment? In our space, in nature, with the people we're with, are we aware of how we're dealing with all those? And the last one I think is very crucial is being aware of our connectedness, that all people are connected. And being mindful means making sure that we capitalize on those connections, that we touch base with people, we feel for them, we have compassion for them and for ourselves. So 3 parts to my definition of mindfulness: internally, externally, and connecting.
So our next question is for the group. What made you interested in mindfulness and what brought you to work on the project?
Like I said, I took the class about a year ago, actually. And I think ever since then, it's just kind of been a little seedling in my brain. So it's things that I have been really easily able to come back to. So different concepts that we were taught in the class or that we read about are things that really I've been able to implement into my own life and see some positive change because of that. So I think that when I saw this email, aside from it just being an awesome opportunity academically and for my resume and for all of that stuff, it was something that I really felt like I could personally kind of get behind and something that really aligned with a lot of what I try to implement into my own life. So I thought that this could be even like almost a second step to the course, right? To like me taking what I've learned from the course that I was able to take and kind of paring that down so that anyone who would like to learn more about it is able to do that.
And Miranda, what brought you to work on this project?
I think for me, when I first joined the class, I just joined it because it was a requirement for my degree. But as I got into the materials, I started thinking, man, everything that is being taught in this class is really important. It's something that everyone needs to know.
So our next question, how do you see mindfulness practices fitting into your professions or areas of study? And how could mindfulness be implemented into your respective fields, which both of you are in social work? So how would you see these practices fitting in with what you choose to do for your career?
Well, as a social worker, self-care is very important, and they're always telling you, take care of yourself. And even it's everything going on in the world today, it's even more important. And even not only teaching yourself these mindfulness practices, it's also important to teach your clients the same things as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Miranda said. I think I was pretty surprised once I got my bachelor's is not in social work, it's just in psychology. So when I got into social work and really understanding specifically what it is, I was pretty surprised how heavily my professors would hone in on the need for self-care and how important that is as a helping professional. And as I've kind of gone through the program and just through my professional experiences, I've very much learned that they're correct when they're telling us all of that stuff. So I think being able to kind of practice what you preach. So we're putting this out there for people to try and implement into their already existing lives. So in order for me to really advocate for that, I need to kind of take some accountability and practice it myself. So I think it's just a super important and easy, well, it's not easy at all, but a super important piece of just being any sort of helping professional, or really, being a person in general. It's a tool that all of us have. It's innately within us in some form or fashion. And so we all have this tool. And so it's just figuring out a way that we can most easily and beneficially access that tool that we already have been given.
What would you hope to see as a consequence of this project?
For me, I'd just like to see people learning more about mindfulness practices and, how to take care of themselves.
I'll add one thing. I think our country is at a point where it needs great healing, and a way to get that, as Shannon was saying, we all have within us the ability to find some space, some safe space. That doesn't have to cost money. We don't have to travel to get there. We don't have to buy expensive equipment. But by spending a little more time being mindful, we can find some safe space that will give us an opportunity to think and change and hopefully come together with people who think drastically different than we do. That's what our country needs. We're tremendously polarized right now, as can be seen from election results and other things. We need to come together within ourselves, and then we need to reach out and connect with all those people, even those people who don't think like us. We're hopeful that the project will do a little bit, at least, to apply that salve to some of the wounds that people are experiencing.
I think that's really true. And I think kind of along with that, a big part for me personally is just making mindfulness manageable. So I think a lot of people, if they hear what we're doing, might think, oh gosh, I know mindfulness is good, but I don't have 45 minutes every day to sit down and meditate. So I think a really big goal of what we're trying to do is make mindfulness manageable for people. So again, helping them realize, okay, I have the tools within me already. I have the time built into my day already. And I just have to figure out the best way for me to access them. And it's really an exercise that we're trying to build in people as to how they can access these very manageable things that can really make an influence in their life.
Very good. So our last question is for Dr. Wasisco, and that is, how can people access this workshop once it is ready?
our goal is to have a pilot version of this that we can start testing among a select 100 people or so within the next 4 weeks. And then from there, we will modify it and then have it ready for general distribution. We're hoping that the university will help us through social media at NKU to get it out to students and faculty and staff and alumni and friends. And then we hope that it's good enough that people will say, hey, I just found out about this. You might be interested. Our dream would be to have it go viral and that people would start having a really good opportunity to do some introspection and do some connection and find a little more peace and a little less stress.
Thank you guys so much. We'll post the link to the workshop with the interview when it's available. Thank you again for participating, all of you. It was great seeing your faces in the first College of Education Spotlight series. This was fun.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for being with us and for answering our questions. And we'll be sure to spread the word when it's ready on your project.